By the year 2098, no one sang anymore. No one told bedtime stories. No one whispered, "I love you" with trembling lips. Every song you heard, every audiobook you listened to, every speech that inspired billions was created by artificial intelligence. The voices were flawless, perfect pronunciation, perfect emotion, perfect timing. But there was one thing they could never recreate: a soul. And one forgotten recording would remind humanity what it had lost. The world didn't become quiet. It became too perfect. Children grew up listening to AI mothers reading bedtime stories. Wedding vows were generated in seconds. Funeral speeches were written and spoken by machines that never knew the people they honored. Every voice sounded beautiful. Every sentence sounded polished. Every laugh sounded identical. No cracks, no mistakes, no hesitation. People stopped noticing the difference because no one remembered what real sounded like. Human voices slowly disappeared from everyday life until they became history. 17-year-old Elias lived in one of the last untouched homes outside the mega cities. While cleaning his late grandfather's attic, he found a dusty wooden box. Inside, old photographs, handwritten letters, a worn-out microphone, and a tiny storage drive labeled, "My Voice Curious." Elias plugged it into an ancient computer. The speakers crackled. Static filled the room. Then a weak voice spoke. "If you're hearing this, I'm probably gone." The voice wasn't perfect. It shook. It paused. Sometimes it laughed at its own mistakes. Sometimes it coughed. But every word felt alive. For the first time in his life, Elias wasn't hearing sound. He was hearing a person. Night after night, Elias listened to hundreds of recordings. Stories about childhood, old love letters to his grandmother, terrible jokes, songs sung completely off-key, advice about courage, dreams that never came true. The more he listened, the stranger he felt. His eyes filled with tears, and he didn't know why AI voices could imitate happiness. But his grandfather's voice made him feel happiness. It carried memories, imperfections, fear, hope, life itself. Elias realized people hadn't replaced human voices because machines were better. They replaced them because perfection was easier than authenticity. That same year, the world's largest technology company announced a competition. The ultimate voice. Millions of AI systems entered, each more realistic than the last. Elias submitted something different. He uploaded his grandfather's recording. The judges assumed it was another AI model. Until the playback began, there was silence. Then, the old man's voice stumbled over a sentence, laughed, and apologized to nobody. The audience froze. Some smiled. Others cried without understanding why. One little girl whispered to her mother, "Why does this voice feel warm?" For the first time in decades, humanity wasn't listening to perfection. It was listening to truth. The recording spread across the planet. Within hours, billions had heard it. Schools began teaching children about real voices. Families searched for forgotten recordings of grandparents. People started recording birthday messages instead of generating them. Parents sang lullabies again, even if they couldn't sing. Podcasters returned. Narrators returned. Musicians stopped fixing every note. People discovered something astonishing. The most beautiful voice was never the perfect one. It was the one carrying a heartbeat behind every word. Years later, The old recording was placed inside the World Memory Archive. Its title wasn't famous because of the man who recorded it. It became famous because it reminded humanity that emotion cannot be manufactured. Technology can imitate a voice. It can imitate tears. It can imitate laughter. But it cannot recreate a lifetime hidden inside a single breath. Because sometimes the crack in someone's voice says more than 1,000 perfect words ever could. And maybe the last human voice was never really the last. Maybe it was the beginning of humanity finding its own voice again. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more emotional stories exploring the future of humanity and technology. Until next time, keep listening, not just with your ears but with your heart.